Hi everyone. Today I want to make a cool like button with JavaScript, something like this. I won't promise it would be exactly like this, but it would be cool if it is, well, this kind of effect. And I want to build it with JavaScript and HTML and CSS, of course. But I just created a blog post with some JavaScript challenges. And I thought, well, I want to show you how I would do this. And I'm always telling myself, also in my daily work, it's better that you do something than try to do it perfectly and, well, in the end, don't do it. So let's try to build something cool like this kind of like button. Would be nice. So let's create a button, and maybe you hear some noise, but that's my computer. So, and in the CSS I have added normalize because I'm very used to that. Auto prefixer, nothing special, just HTML. And in the JavaScript I added my font awesome kit. So in order to create a button with a icon in it, we do span class is FA and then FA art. Something like that. And for the button, let's make this a little bit bigger. Also pump up this. So, and in the body, I want to make a padding and it's not completely in the middle, but hey, this is in the middle enough. So we have a button with a border, and if we check this, it's got a pink background. So let's pick a color, and this is a very handy website. If you're searching for a specific color, you just click it and it will copy. So background color. Oh, we forgot the hash. And now we have a pink background color. I think it's cool. And we want to make sure that this one got a white color. And I can see that there is some basic default styling for the button. So yeah, I got a nice screen when I open a new tab. Commit strip, definitely should check that out. But if you want to remove the default styling from a button, I would search for HTML button remove default style. So css-tricks got a good article for that. And let's see. And then we can see that we need this rule in order to remove that. And we got to remove the outline and the border. So you see, now let's make this a width of 50 pixels. Is it? No, make it bigger. 75, that's better. And a height of 75 pixels. And let's make sure that the icon is in the middle by doing 75 pixels in the line height. That's to make sure that it's vertically aligned in the middle and text aligned center, to also make sure that it's horizontally in the middle. So, but now we want to make a circle of it. So let's make a border radius, and this is super handy. Just do 100% to make it a circle. And I want to make it bigger. But yeah, I can edit those things, but I also can make it function like Sass, a CSS preprocessor. So we make a variable with the CSS. Wow, Siri, I don't want you. Keep it off. So let's make a variable size with 100 pixels. Now we can place it here. And if we want to make it bigger, just change the variable. That's cool, right? I want to make this also a little bit bigger. Yeah, that's better. So save it. So now we got a cool button, and for a hover effect I can do button hover like this, but in Sass we have a nice feature, and that's nesting, and we can do it like this. And we want to make the background color to black, or pick another. Let's do this color. We forgot the hash. That's weird. I don't want that. Oh wait, I know what I did. I forgot this one. You see? You only have to forget one thing, and it's a mess. So let's make a transition, a simple one, for half a second, and ease in, ease out. Was that the one? No, it wasn't. Let's find out. CSS transition. css-tricks. I love that site. I learned a lot on that website. We got ease. We just need ease. So let's remove that. Now it's gonna transition everything. You see, in HTML everything is a rectangle. So when I'm close, it's already got a hover, but no problem. And we want to make the color white, and we hover over it. Well, looks cool, right? Let's save it. So we can do a lot with JavaScript, but I think this one, the hover, it's better to do that with CSS. And let's give our button a class, and let's like button. So it now has a class. So right now I want to make sure that if we click it, that it will rotate the icon or the button and do something else. So let's create a const and call it like button. And well, in order to get that HTML element in our JavaScript, and if I don't know how to do that, I want to Google and just type in get a HTML element JavaScript, and then, well, W3 schools, get a good one. Well, we got get element by ID, get elements by tag name, but I'm more of a fan of query selector and query selector all. Query selector is for just one element, and query selector all is for multiple elements. So let's do document. That's basically our page, our HTML page, and then query selector, and then we give a string with the selector, the like button. And let's move this one over here, open our console. I'm so happy that Copen got that built in. So let's check it. With the console.doc, we can see if the like button is exactly the button that we want to have. And yes, here we see it's the like button. So that's great. But I want to have this in the middle. Text align center. Yes, that's better. So now we got access to our button. We want to trigger a click event. So in order to do that, we have to add an event listener. So if you don't know how this works, just Google JavaScript button click event. So I want to, well, you see a lot of things, and let's go for the DOM at event listener. So here we got a example that you can add a add event listener, a click, and then we inside of that we have a callback function and can do a lot of stuff. So let's do that. Let's add the event listener. Back to code button. So now we got the like button in the variable, so we can add the event listener. So add event listener and that's a function. And then we want to listen to the click event, and it got a callback function. So that's being called whenever you click on the button. So let's see that. Let's do a console log, save it, and let's click on the button. Well, you see over here in the console log that whenever we click on this, it gets updated and it prints out everything in the console. So right now I want to check how we can do put a class on the button whenever we click on the button. So if you are using the event listener, you can also with ES6 do the arrow function. Works the same, almost the same, but if we console.log and we check for the this variable, and this is a very special case because I will show you first the function and then click on this, then the this is equally to the like button. But if we make it a arrow function, save it and click, it is not the like button. It is the window object, because a arrow function doesn't have its own this. So for now we want to make this a normal function. And if we click on this, we see that this is equally to the button. So now we have this, but we want to add a class to the HTML element. So let's Google it. JavaScript add class to element. So how can we add a class? With the ClassList API. And the ClassList API, let's check that out. JavaScript ClassList, and I find this explanation on the Mozilla site very helpful. We got add, remove, toggle, contains, and replace. So we can do add, but I tend to do better toggle, because if I click again, then I want to get the class removed. So with the class list, was it a capital L? It is, yes it is. And then we do toggle, and then we want to show that we add a class. So let's do a click. So then we want to see that in the styling. So we want to add some styling on it, and now you got a selector button dot click, and then we're gonna do transform, rotate, and we got 45 degrees. So let's check it. You see? That's cool, right? I'm missing cursor pointer on the button. I want to have, yes, like this. So we click and it turns and we click again and it turns again. That's cool, right? I think that's very cool. Let's drink some water. So now we got a cool rotating button, but over here if we see that there is coming a text. So in the HTML we're gonna do a span with, we call it light, and we give it a class name, button pop-up. Let's do it right there. And by default we want the button pop-up, we want to have that hidden, button pop-up and display now. But for now we put it in a comment because we want to position it before we're gonna hide it and show it. So we're gonna add position relative, because the text we're gonna give position absolute, and then give it a top of 0 and a left of 0. But we know how big the button is, so we're gonna do width with the variable size. So we know that the width is always the 120 pixels. But I want to make the font size a little bit smaller to rem and make sure that we have text align center. And now we want to have it a little bit over here on top, so it's not gonna be the top 0, but it's gonna be 40 pixels, minus 40, minus 80, something like that. That's cool, right? We got a cool animation and a cool effect, but we want to make the text transform uppercase. That's not the correct one. So let's find out. CSS text uppercase. Text then transform. Transform. Why does that not work? Did I make? Let's copy this. These things are those stupid small. I made a typo. That's it. Just Google and you will know it. So right now we got a cool effect that it's also rotating with the when we click on it. But we want to get it started on 0, and we can animate this, but we're gonna do set index 0 -1. Then you don't see it. So now we're gonna, by adding the click, we want to, when that click is on it, we want to make sure that the text in our button pop-up is going to be shown. Let's make this, no, let's make this tidy. Oh wait, I forgot this one. And then just tap it. So right now, when we have clicked the button, so the click class comes on top of it, and inside of that we got now the button pop-up, and we want to add the top position -80 pixel, and we want to do the z index, we want to set it on 0. Let's see what it does. So we want to have a transition on this, and a really short one of 1.01 seconds. We got also the fade. That was not what I want. So we're gonna make sure the button got a z index of 1. No, that's not gonna work because that set index is already higher. So let's try something else. Transform, to do it with the transform, and then the translate x and the ix 80 pixels. Let's see. So let's Google to make that transition smoother. So CSS transition different in and out. Where's the demo? So a different hover effect in and out. Okay, so on the hover, on the click transition, and then now we're gonna add the transition transition to the pop-up. Let's see it. 0.1 seconds ease out. And that's the transform. Let's see how this goes. I'm not happy yet. So let's, because we want to make layers and have the button below, we want to make put this in a span and call it the button wrapper. And maybe you think, well, Ray, you are doing this like so many years. And yes, every time you think you know something, you should reconsider and always use Google. I do that quite a lot. So now we want to have this text outside the button wrap, outside the button. So we got it now inside the button wrapper. So what's this? Expected. Oh, wait. We forgot that one. Okay, now you see the light is up here. So we have to add that position relative to the button wrapper. See? Now you don't see it. So, in order to see it, we have it over here. And let's make the size of this equally to that. And now we should change this to 20 pixels. Oh. Minus 20. Minus 40. Minus 60. Minus 1. So it's rotating. And now this is also not gonna work, because now that click, it doesn't need to be on the button anymore, but now it needs to be on the button wrapper. Const button wrapper is so now if we click on the button wrapper, we have a text called click. Wait, now this one is on top. -1. So now, oh, we should copy this and add it to the button wrapper. So it can. That was not what I would have expected. Let's see how big this one is. So we got the button wrapper. We need to give it a display inline block, because otherwise it does nothing with the height and the width. Display. That's better. Look, if you put that out, then it ignores the size, the height and the width. So make it display inline block. So it's a combination of a block element and an inline element. So right now you can see it works. But now we put that transition on the wrapper. Let's close this one. So now we need to transition that it's first doing the rotate. This is gonna be fast. So the transform in is gonna be 3. You see? When you go back, it goes slower. That's cool. So let's see how you can do multiple transitions. Multiple CSS transitions. Let's see how that works. Transition property, duration, timing function, delay. Okay. You can separate it with commas to make sure that it works like you want. So then we're not gonna do this with translate, but we're gonna do this with top. Now we okay, comma, then we're gonna do 0.2 seconds for the top, ease. Okay, so let's make this 0, so we don't see it. But now we want to make the animation when it's going back, we want to transition that a little bit different. First, that top position that needs to be fast to the middle, and this one can take a little bit longer. That's too fast. 0.3. That is cool, right? I like that. And maybe it's cool to also do the font size to, what did I make it? To rem. Oh wait. These can be here. And the font size, we want to make it a little bit bigger, 2.5 rem. Let's do it like that. And a little bit higher. Something more? Yes. I like that. I like that a lot. But we want to do the font size a little bit, a 0.5 seconds. No, a little bit, just 1 second. 1 second. The font size, and then do fade. Let's see how that works. Point 3. And when it in the click, is make this a little bit longer. Make this a little bit longer. I like this. I like this. So you see, you can spend a lot of time making these kind of demos. And now this is pretty simple, but now we learn that we can access the HTML element with the query selector. We have got access to both of the elements, the like button and the button wrapper. And then we know how you can search how to do a click event by doing the add event listener and listen to it, the click. And now you also know that if you want to use this, you can not do that if you expect it would be equally to the element you're clicking on. But right now we're don't using this, so this can be the arrow function. And we now also learned that with the ClassList API you can toggle it. So we now got a cool click like button, and you can add more functionality on it. But if you want to learn JavaScript, I would say do a lot of JavaScript and keep practicing, keep searching, keep doing, fail as many times, and you saw it. Well, in this example, I did a lot, but do it. You learn from it. So I wish you good luck, and I'm wondering what you're gonna build, and add that in the comments so that I can see what you build, help you out, give you feedback. And if you like this video, please do a thumbs up so I can make more of these kind of videos, and let me know what you thought in the comments. So hopefully see you next time. Bye.